Hi everyone, I'm Leanne and this is Daryl. Nowadays, AI plays a major role in healthcare and diagnostics. It's important that we create representative models. When there's a new medication or treatment and it goes through the Western clinical trials, they select mostly white male between 20 and 30 years old and that weigh around 70 kilos, the reference men. However, look at us. It doesn't represent all of us. The consequence is that the new medical treatment is suboptimal for us and we can literally die earlier because of this. There are three main problems. So one, not everyone is included and represented. The second is the patient inclusion process is slow and long and manual because it goes via paperwork like hand signing the consent forms. And three, there's also a lack of trust because the potential participants are not agreeing with the centralized way of data collection. That's why we've built Wave Data. Your data is the cure. Wave Data is a decentralized marketplace for clinical trials. It's transparent, fun, and easy for everyone to join. Wave Data connects people who want to participate in clinical trials together with the medical professionals who are looking for participants. It's shared by Web3, and because it's fully automated and paperless, any participant from any demographic can join. Specifically, also Wave Data is built on the Polkadot and Solana. And we collect the patient's demographic data together with the questionnaire data that they enter, and we retrieve the medical history together with the biofeedback from their wearables. So let's go to the Wave Data demo.
First, we are going to open the web portal for research organizations where they can add studies and trials. So here we are going to add our first study, and we're going to also set a budget, and that will trigger extra requirements to fill in. So we need to define our audience based on age groups, and we also need to set the reward that we want to give that people get for participating. So now we create the informed consent form that every potential participant needs to consent to before they are included. It's differentiated between different age brackets because you can imagine that the text and the content for a 12-year-old will be different than for an adult. Keep in mind the status quo for this is paperwork. So now we can continue to create the actual survey that participants can fill in after they have consented. And it is a medically validated questionnaire where we can add questions and answers in a specific format. And once we're done, we can save it. Alright, now as a trial participant, I can go to the app and take part in this study. And now I can read through the informed consent form that the researchers have made ready for me. And I can say, okay, so I agree to all these separate parts, and then I can sign it. And this is a digital smart contract instead of the wet ink. So it's approved, yay! Now I can sign up for this particular study and connect my FHIR ID. So the FHIR ID is to retrieve your electronic health record data through the international standards for this. And now that this has been done, there we go, here's the app. And in the app, I can now upload my profile picture, of course, and I can select which of the data from my electronic health records I want to include in this study that was retrieved using FHIR. Now I can also go and connect my wearable, and if it's connected and I refresh, then we see all the data from the wearable that can also be shared with the research organization and is taken into account for the study. And now if we connect to the Samsung wearable, you can see an overview of all the real-time biofeedback that is collected and also used for validation to see if you're an actual person doing this survey. Great. Now let's fill in the survey that they have made for us. Let's go through all the questions and answer them, then answer some more questions, and done. You can verify and see here that you've participated, and you can track your progress through our gamified UI. So we can now cash out our rewards that we have received for completing these surveys, and On this end, you can see that the transaction has been executed successfully. In the portal of the research organization, we can now see that this information has been updated for this study, for this participant, and we can see which information they filled in exactly, and also overall for the study, we can see information about what has been collected. That's our demo. Thank you for your time.
So, to recap, the medical researcher, they use the web portal to create trials as smart contracts or Solana programs, which we recently added to improve our scalability. And as the participant, you then use the app with the Samsung Smart Wearable, and then you can earn SOL as a reward. And all of your data is processed through FHIR, which is the international protocol as the standard for medical data transfers. So, as a researcher, you now have access to real-time data, which leads to new insights. And at the same time, you're saving time while also cutting on cost and effort. And yeah, even better, you can now share your research and data with other researchers. So the benefits for the user are that we have broken down the barrier for you to contribute your data to improve global health problems. And at the same time, you get transparency about your data, how it's exactly processed. So, and on top of that, you have the rewards that you get directly into your wallet. And we have testimonials that indicate a strong product market fit. So let's watch.
As a professor in cardiology for women, I've dedicated my working life to improve cardiovascular health in female patients. I've seen too often that women are not adequately diagnosed and treated because of the male norms that still exist in medicine. We've also seen this in ethnic minorities and populations that are poorer.
One of the biggest challenges I face in research is to ensure that the people I include in studies are a true representation of all people in the society. And in this we are currently severely hindered by the traditional obligatory ways to recruit and to collect patient data.
Therefore, it's really important that Wave Data has developed safe communication models for those underserved communities like women and disadvantaged populations.
Wave Data allows us to set up clinical trials and connect directly with participants who represent the real diversity of our communities.
And this is not only a step forward, but it's an important leap forward for better health, equality, and better serving for healthcare to our underserved populations.
The Wave Data platform, with their smart contracts, help to perform inclusive medical research. Their digital but secure informed consent solution increases the speed of including diverse patients, while at the same time lowering the cost of inclusion. With this, we can design treatment protocols that work better for everyone, not just a narrow demographic. We are looking forward to working with Wave Data.
So I can really recommend Wave Data to you. Thank you.
So, the time to act is now. Both the US FDA and the EU have recognized a lack of medical representation and have published new guidelines this year that are now mandatory for medical companies to follow. And by our choice of SDGs, we are bridging two growing markets, clinical trials and femtech. So these are expected to have a combined value of more than 100 million by 2030. So we expect to earn money because research organizations happily will pay us a license fee for the platform, and the app is of course free for participants. So Wave Data is a new initiative at our existing startup, which is US-based and called Wavy Health. So we already know how the medical space works, and we have all the medical certifications. So our team, it's a healthy mix of medical researchers, developers, and business. And we have already achieved many milestones that show that we have a strong indication to build a company that can actually save lives. So we have a strong network of medical and technical partners. We have recently been awarded a 22 million European grant, together with 40 medical companies.
I have to cut you off there, Wavy Health, because our time is up.